Hey guys, it's Mai, and you have reached another video on my channel, and today I'm going to be telling you some embarrassing stories of myself. I want to apologize for any background noise that happens during this video because I am outside and birds do like to chirp. A lot. Story number 1. So this story isn't that huge, mainly because I brought it upon myself, but it was very embarrassing looking back on it, and I definitely wish I would not have done it. So basically, when I was in 4th grade, which was 4 years ago, I thought it would be a good idea to wear one of my tiaras to school. It was not a very good idea. I mean, I did get a lot of attention, which I mean, like, yes, but the attention that I got was not the good kind, so yeah, it was embarrassing all day. And there was like no turning back from it. Like it happened. But now I'm in 9th grade and everybody's forgotten about that, so. Story number 2. This story is very similar to the first one, in which I wore something to school that I shouldn't have. So here's a little backstory. I had went to this restaurant called Roosters, and it's like a wing place. That doesn't matter. Anyway, there was a face painter at Roosters giving out free face paints, and so I thought, why not? I got a giant butterfly, literally like all across my face. Insert the picture right here. I thought I was looking like a snack. So I decided to go to school the next day with that face paint on. So I was walking into the building and we had like little door holders. The freaking door holder was like, well, you can't go back now. As in like, you already walked in with your face paint, girl, you screwed. And I was like, oh no, what did I get myself into? But then I was walking in the halls and the gym teacher complimented my amazing face paint. I was like, why thank you. But then everybody was staring at me the rest of my day and talking about me, and it was quite embarrassing. Story number 3. This one happened recently, so I still think about it all the time, and very embarrassing. Just very embarrassing. I went on a school trip to Wyoming and other places out west last year. Before we went on the trip, we had a little picnic get-together of everybody that was going on the trip. There was about 30 of us there, but there was also all of their parents and many, many teachers. Apparently, they started roll call, and I wasn't paying attention, like usual. So I was just chilling on my phone, completely not even hearing what they were talking about. And I hear my name, so I said here. Then everybody starts laughing at me. I'm like, why is everybody laughing at me? I turn to my friend who's like, you were just supposed to raise your hand. And I go, oh. So apparently, everybody else had, just raised their hand, and I was just like, here. But then they finished saying the name, and it was a different Maya. So when my name was actually called, I raised my hand, like I should, and everybody looked at me and started they literally were staring me down. They were literally like, oh my gosh, she's gonna say here again. Like, oh my god. Like, no, I learned the first time. Like, I think I got it now. I'm already embarrassed. Like, shh. Next story. This story happened when I was very, very young, and it was a very long time ago. So me, my dad, and my sister were staying at a hotel because my sister had a soccer tournament far away. When we were heading back to our hotel room, I thought that I saw someone I knew. So I was like, hey girl, what's up? She turned around and it wasn't her. I went into the hotel bathroom and I cried for a solid hour. I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my god, I just called someone the wrong name. Like, this stranger is probably like, what is this 6-year-old doing? My dad and my sister were like, Maya, it's not a big deal. Like, stop crying. Like, it's okay. And I was like, I can't. I'm so embarrassed. Next story. This story is an interesting one and probably the most embarrassing of them all. This one is more of a scary experience mixed with an embarrassing moment. Remember when I was talking about going to Wyoming? Yes. Well, while I was on that trip, we had this barbecue picnic thing. There was a playground at this picnic thing, and so I went on the playground with a bunch of other people, you know, casual. Anyway, the boys were trying to show off and doing some pull-ups, and I was like, okay, I can show off too. And so I did some pull-ups. Then they tried to, like, flip around, you know what I'm talking about? Like, hold onto the bars and, like, flip around. Well, they couldn't do it. So I was like, I can. So I did it, and I was just chilling, you know, just chilling there, and I was like, okay, time to come down. So instead of like just letting go and just dropping down right where I was, I decided to turn around forwards so I'd just be like hanging onto the bars perfectly fine. Things did not go as planned though. My feet came down very fast and I slipped off the bars. I fell about 5 feet straight onto my stomach, onto mulch, and I was about this close to hitting my face on metal steps and other metal parts of the playground in front of me. It was traumatizing. I thought I was dead. I was like, this is it. I'm gonna have a freaking bruised face. I'm gonna have no teeth. I survived though. Right after I fell, I was just chilling on the mulch and I looked up and everybody is staring at me and like laughing at me, and I'm like, it was so embarrassing because I was trying to show off and then I like fell and it kind of ruined the whole thing and everybody was laughing at me. It was not a fun experience. But you know, I'm all good now, but just a little traumatized. Next story. This one isn't really embarrassing. Well, it's embarrassing, but it's more annoying and it's just a fun story to tell. So this story happened last year during summer diving. At diving, I was doing my double front. I was a little bit close to the board, but we didn't really worry about it and I just got back in line. I went to do my double front again and I did my first flip and then I started to do my second flip and I like felt a shock go all through my body and like I kind of like blanked for a second. I was very confused. Like I didn't know what just happened. So I swim up to the surface of the water and literally everybody is staring at me. People are like, oh my god. At first I had no clue what happened, but as soon as I saw people being all scared and saying like, are you okay? I was like, oh my gosh, I just hit my head on the diving board, like for the second time. So anyway, the lifeguard just kind of looks down at me and she's like, and then she goes, tweet, tweet, tweet. And I'm like, oh no. If you don't know, when a lifeguard tweets their whistle 3 times, it kind of like signals all the other lifeguards to come because there's like an emergency. I was perfectly fine though. Like I swam over to the side and I was like, I'm literally fine. I just was sitting down, just chilling. The lifeguards come running and I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? So then this one lifeguard decides to put me in a freaking headlock because she thinks I have some sort of spine thing or concussion or something, which let me say, she wasn't doing it right because you're supposed to like, if you're putting them in a headlock, you're supposed to put it like from the front. And she was like from behind, just kind of just like pushing my head together, and it was very uncomfortable and messed up. But I was like, people, I'm fine, and they weren't listening to me. And then this one lifeguard goes, we need to call the ambulance. And I'm like, no we don't. My sister, who was standing off to the side, said, if you called the ambulance, my mom is going to be pressed. She didn't actually say pressed, she said a word that I can't say on here, but you know what I mean. If you don't know why she said that, it's because 1, ambulances cost a ton of money even if they don't do anything for you. And 2, my mother's a nurse. So my sister, you know, just called up my mom, was like, hey mom, Maya hit her head on the diving board. And so my mom like drove up. She comes and she's like, okay, wiggle your toes. And I wiggle my toes. Wiggle your fingers. I wiggle my fingers. And then she's like, okay, now look side to side, and like turning my head. And she's like, look up and down. And mom's like, she's fine. And I was like, thank you, mother. These lifeguards completely over-exaggerated, and it was so embarrassing because like, yes, I like attention, but not that much attention. Like it was way too much. And like I said, it was also just super annoying because I was completely fine. Like I didn't get a concussion. I didn't pass out. Like I was chilling. But that was embarrassing because everybody was looking at me and everybody was talking about it. But I'm fine now, kind of. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to some of my embarrassing stories. And if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more of these videos, then make sure to subscribe. Also, this video is inspired by Emma Chamberlain, so make sure to go check out her video because it's super funny. See you guys next time. Bye, everybody.